ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतिसे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva. We are into text number 49. Sorry, 49. So we have already seen these few slokas. Here, praises obeisances to Satvyoha. Then, on seeing and serving particular form of Lord Shiva. The Lord Shiva is wishing to see a particular form. What was that form? He wishes to see that particular form of the Lord that every devotee wants to worship. And he describes about the collection of all the beauty, and he describes the Lord's ever increasing beauty, and Lord's shoulders and describes the Lord's shoulders and chest. Later on, he describes Lord's navel and belly, and Lord's lower body. The result of this meditation on the Lord's form, we are freedom from fear of birth and death. So then we are going to see 54 to 59. The bhakti is the topmost of all. So you are obtainable by bhakti. Only he says, Lord Shiva says, Vishnu is obtainable only by bhakti. It is which is rare. At the time of death, cannot touch. The time of death cannot touch a devotee. And you see the power of devotee association. Association of devotees is the real mercy of Krishna. A devotee is unagitated and unabsorbed. So we will start with the sloka number 15. Hare Krishna, Maithili Mataji, text number.
Hare Krishna. The Lord's abundance is beautiful due to the three ripples in the flesh. Being so sound, his abundance resembles the leaf of a banana tree, and we exhales and inhales. The movement of the ripples appears very, very beautiful. The coins within the novel of the Lord are so deep that it appears that the entire universe spotted out it and yet again wishes to go back. Purport. The whole universe is born out of the lotus steam which sprouts from the navel of the Lord. Lord Brahma sat on the top of the lotus steam to create the whole universe. The novel of the Lord is so deep and cooling that it appears that the whole universe again wanted to withdraw into the novel, being attended by the Lord Beauty. The Lord novels and the ripples on his belly always increases the beauty of his bodily features. The details of the bodily features of the Lord especially indicates the personality of Godhead. Pers- Impersonalists cannot appear the beautiful body of the Lord, which is described in these prayers by Lord Shiva. Although the impersonalities are always engaged in that worship of Lord Shiva, they are unable to understand the prayers offered by Lord Shiva to the bodily features of the Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is known as Shiva Varshinutam Bhagavatam 11.5.33 for he always worshipped by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna.
Text number. Salvo, text number 51.
Hare Krishna. The lower part of the Lord's waist is dark and covered with yellow garments and a belt bedecked with golden embroidery work. His symmetrical lotus feet and the calves, thighs, and joints of his legs are extraordinarily beautiful. Indeed, the Lord's entire body appears to be well built. Purport. Lord Shiva is one of the 12 great authorities mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. These authorities are Swayambhu, Narada, Sambhu, Kumara, Kapila, Manu, Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, Bali, Vaisakhi, and Sukadeva, Goswami, and Yamaraja. The impersonalists who generally worship Lord Shiva should learn of the transcendental Satchidananda Vigraha of Lord. Here, Lord Shiva kindly describes the details of the Lord's bodily features. Thus, the impersonalist argument that the Lord has no form cannot be accepted under any circumstances. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Jagannath Prabhu, text number 52, first paragraph.
Hare Krishna. My dear Lord, your two lotus feet are so beautiful that they appear like two blossoming petals of the lotus flower which grows during the autumn season. Indeed, the nail of your lotus feet emanates such a great effulgence that they immediately dissipate all the darkness in the heart of a conditional soul. My dear Lord, kindly show me the form of yours, which always dissipates all kinds of darkness in the heart of a devotee. My dear Lord, you are the supreme spiritual master of everyone. Therefore, all conditioned souls covered with the darkness of ignorance can be enlightened by enlightened by you as the spiritual master. Purpose. Lord Shiva has thus described the bodily features of the Lord authoritatively. Now he wants to see the lotus feet of Lord. When a devotee wants to see the transcendental form of the Lord, he begins his meditation on the Lord's body by first looking at the feet of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the transcendental sound form of the Lord, and the 12 cantos are divided in accordance with the transcendental form of the Lord. The first and second cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam are called the two lotus feet of the Lord. It is therefore suggested by Lord Shiva that one should first try to see the lotus feet of the Lord. This also means that if one is serious about reading Srimad Bhagavatam, he must begin by seriously studying the first and second cantos. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Pushkala, next paragraph.
Hare Krishna. The beauty of the lotus feet of the Lord is compared to the petals of a lotus flower which grows in the autumn season. By nature's law, in autumn the dirty or muddy waters of rivers and lakes become very clean. At that time, the lotus flowers growing in the lakes appear very bright and beautiful. The lotus flower itself is compared to the lotus feet of the Lord, and the petals are compared to the nails of the feet of the Lord. The nails of the feet of the Lord are very bright, as Brahma Samhita testifies. Ananda Chinmaya Sat Ujjvala Vigrahasya. Every limb of the transcendental body of the Lord is made up of Ananda Chinmaya Sat Ujjvala. Thus, every limb is eternally bright. As sunshine dissipates the darkness of this material world, the effulgence emanating from the body of the Lord immediately dries up in the darkness in the heart of the conditioned soul. In other words, everyone serious about understanding the transcendental signs and seeing the transcendental form of the Lord must first of all attempt to see the lotus feet of the Lord by studying the first and second cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. When one sees the lotus feet of the Lord, All kinds of doubts and fears within the heart are vanquished. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Saraswati Mataji. Can read the next paragraph.
Hare Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita.
In
You are
Bhagavad
not
Gita,
audible.
it is said that in order to make spiritual progress, one must become fearless. Abhayam sattva samsuddhi. Fearfulness is the result of material involvement. It is also said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhayam dvitiyabhivineshastah syat. Fearfulness is a creation of the bodily conception of life. As long as one is absorbed in the thought that he is this material body, he is fearful. And as soon as one is freed from this material conception, he becomes Brahma Bhuta or self-realized and immediately becomes fearless. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. Without being fearless, one cannot be joyful. The bhaktas, the devotees are fearless, are always joyful because they are constantly engaged in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. It is also said, Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha bhagavad tattva vignanam mukta sangasya jayate.
Hare Krishna, Saraswati Mataji. You can continue.
Hare Krishna. By practicing Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga, one becomes fearless and joyful. Unless one becomes fearless and joyful, he cannot understand the signs of God. Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate. This verse refers to those who are completely liberated from the fearfulness of the material world. When one is so liberated, he can really understand the transcendental features of the form of the Lord. Lord Shiva therefore advises everyone to practice Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga, as will be clear in the following verses. By doing so, one can become really liberated and enjoy spiritual bliss. It is also stated, Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, continue. Great.
The Lord is the supreme spiritual master, and the bona fide representative of the supreme Lord is also spiritual master. The Lord from within enlightens the devotees by the effulgence of the nails of his lotus feet, and his representative, the spiritual master, enlightens from without. Only by thinking of the lotus feet of the Lord and always taking the spiritual master's advice can one advance in spiritual life and understand Vedic knowledge. Yasya deve parabhaktir yata deve tata guru tasyaite katita he artaha prakashante mahatmanaha. Thus the Vedas, Svetasvatara Upanishad 6.23 enjoin that for one who has unflinching faith in the lotus feet of the Lord as well as in the spiritual master, the real import of Vedic knowledge can be revealed. Hare Krishna.
Great. Hare Krishna, Maitri Mataji. Text number 53. First paragraph. Hare Krishna, Maitri Mataji. Text number 53.
Hare
First paragraph.
Krishna. My dear Lord, those who desire to purify their existence must always engage in meditation upon your lotus feet as described above. Those who are serious about executing their occupational duties and who wanted freedom from fear must take to this process of bhakti yoga. It is said that the transcendental name from the past time and entering of the Lord cannot be appeared by the blunt material sense. Therefore, one has to engage himself in devotional service so that the sense may be purified and one can see the supreme personality of Godhead. Here, however, it is indicated that those who are constantly engaged in meditating on the lotus feet of Lord are certainly purified of the material contaminating of the sense and are thus able to see the supreme Lord face to face. The word meditation is very popular in this age among the common people, but they do not know the actual meaning of meditation. However, from the Vedic literature, we learn that the yogis are always observed in the meditation about the lotus feet of Lord. Danya, Darya Navyatya Gate
Yeah,
Mantra Pyantiyam Yogina 12.13.1. This is the real business of yogis, to think of the lotus feet of the Lord Shiva. Therefore, advised that one who is actually serious about the purification must engage himself in this type of meditation or in the Nasti yoga system, which will help him not only to see the Lord within the constantly, but to see him face to face and become his associate in the Vaikuntha Lokam or Golak Vrindavan.
Thank you, sir.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jagannath.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandaskaram. The word Swadharma as in Swadharma Anisthanakam indicates that the system of Varnasrama, which indicates the occupational duties of the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and which is the perfect institution for humanity, must be supported by the Bhakti Yoga if one at all wants to security in life. Generally, people think that simply by executing the occupational duties of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Sudra are the duty of a Brahmanical Grihastha, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, or Sannyasi. One becomes fearless or securely attains the liberation, but actually, unless all these occupational duties are accompanied by Bhakti Yoga, one cannot become fearless. In Bhagavad Gita, there are descriptions of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, etc. But unless one comes to the point of Bhakti Yoga, these other yogas cannot help one attain the highest perfection of life. In other words, Bhakti Yoga is the only means of liberation. We find this conclusion also in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in a discussion between Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Raya regarding the human being liberation from this material world. In that discussion, Ramananda Raya referred to the execution of Varnasrama Dharma, and the Lord Chaitanya indicates that the Varnasrama Dharma was the simply external Hobhaya. Lord Chaitanya wanted to impress upon Ramananda Raya that simply by executing the duties of Varnasrama Dharma, one is not guaranteed liberation. Finally, Ramananda Raya referred to the process of Bhakti Yoga, Sthane,
That's in term to one man.
Kanuan Manabhohi. Bhagavad Gita 10.14.3. Regardless of one's condition of life, if he practices Bhakti Yoga, which begins with hearing Suchi Ghatam, the transcendental message of the Lord, through the mouths of devotees, he gradually conquers the unconquerable God. Shall you continue? Shall I continue?
Yeah.
Okay. God is known to be the unconquerable, but one who submissively hears the words of a self-realized soul conquers the unconquerable. The conclusion is that if one is serious about liberation, he not only should execute the occupational duties of Varnasrama Dharma, but should also engage in Bhakti Yoga by beginning hearing from a realized soul. This process will help the devotee conquer the unconquerable Supreme Personality of Godhead and become his associate after giving up the materialistic body.
Hare Krishna, Pushkala. Next, text number 54.
Hare Krishna. Text number 54, translation. My dear Lord, The king in charge of the heavenly kingdom is also desirous of obtaining the ultimate goal of life, devotional service. Similarly, you are the ultimate destination of those who identify themselves with you. Aham Brahmasmi. However, it is very difficult for them to attend you, whereas a devotee can very easily attend your lordship. Purport, as stated in Brahma Samhita, Vedesha Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktav. This indicates that it is very difficult for one to attain the ultimate goal of life and reach the supreme destination, Vaikuntha Loka or Goloka Vrindavana, simply by studying Vedanta philosophy or Vedic literature. However, this highest perfectional stage can be attained by the devotees very easily. That is the meaning of Vedeshu Dullabham Adullabham Atma Bhaktav. The same point is confirmed by Lord Shiva in this verse. The Lord is very difficult for the Karma Yogis, Jnana Yogis, and Dhyana Yogis to attain. Those who are Bhakti Yogis, however, have no difficulty at all. In the word Swarajasya, Swar refers to Swargaloka, the heavenly planet, and Swarajya refers to the ruler of the heavenly planet. Indra generally karmis desire elevation to heavenly planets, but King Indra desires to become perfect in Bhakti Yoga. Those who identify themselves as Aham Brahmasmi, I am the supreme Brahman or one with the absolute truth, also ultimately desire to attain perfect liberation in the Vaikuntha planets or Goloka Vrindavana. In Bhagavad Gita 18.55, it is said, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yashtasmi tatvata tato mam tatvato gnatva vishade tadanantaram. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service, and when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Shall I continue?
Yeah, continue.
Thus, if one desires to enter into the spiritual world, he must try to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Simply by practicing Bhakti Yoga, one can understand the Supreme Lord in truth, but without such understanding, one cannot enter the spiritual kingdom. One may be elevated to the heavenly planets or may realize himself as Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. But that is not the end of realization. One must realize the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by Bhakti Yoga, then real perfection of life is attained. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Sagar Prabhu, text number 50.
Hare Krishna translation. My dear Lord, pure devotional service is even difficult for liberated persons to discharge, but devotional service alone can satisfy you. Who will take to other process of self-realization if he is actually serious about the perfection of life? The word satam refers to transcendental bliss. There are three kinds of transcendentalists, the Jnani, Yogi, and Bhakta. Out of these three, the Bhakta is selected as the most suitable candidate to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is emphasized herein that only one who is outside devotional service would not engage in searching for the lotus feet of the Lord. Jewish people sometimes maintain that God may be attained by any way, either by Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, etc. But here it is clearly stated that it is impossible to obtain the mercy of the Lord by any means, but by Bhakti Yoga. The word Duradhya is especially significant. It is difficult to attain the lotus feet of the Lord by any method other than Bhakti Yoga.
Hare Krishna, Satyavati, text number 56, first paragraph. Hare Krishna, Saraswati Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Sorry. Translation: simply by expansion of his eyebrows, invincible time personified can immediately vanquish the entire universe. However, formidable time does not approach the devotee who has taken complete shelter at your lotus feet. Purport: in Bhagavad Gita 10.34, it is said that the Lord, in the shape and form of death, destroys all a person's possessions. Mrityu sarvaharas chaham. I am all devouring death. The Lord, in the shape of death, takes away everything that is created by the conditioned soul. Everything in this material world is subject to perish in due course of time. However, all the strength of time cannot hamper the activities of a devotee, for a devotee takes complete shelter under the lotus feet of the Lord. For this reason only is a devotee free from formidable time. All the activities of the karmis and jnanis, which have no touch of devotional service, are spoiled in due course of time. The material success of the karmis is destined to be destroyed. Similarly, the impersonal realization attained by the jnanis is also destroyed in the course of time. Aruhya kruchena param padam tataha patantyado nadirta yusmad angrayaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Advaita Prabhu. That's correct.
Yeah, just a second. To say nothing of the karmis.
To say nothing of the karmis, the jnanis undergo severe austerities to attain the impersonal Brahmajyoti, but because they do not find the lotus feet of the Lord, they fall down again into this material existence. Unless one is fully situated in unalloyed devotional service, there is no guarantee of liberation, even if one is elevated to the heavenly planets or to the impersonal Brahman effulgence. A devotee's achievement, however, is never lost by the influence of time. Even if a devotee cannot completely execute devotional service in his next life, he begins from the point where he left off. Such an opportunity is not given to the karmis and the jnanis, whose achievements are destroyed. The bhakta's achievement is never destroyed, for it goes on perpetually, be it complete or incomplete. This is the verdict of all Vedic literature. Suchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Vrashto Abhijayate. If one is unable to complete the process of Bhakti Yoga, he is given a chance in his next life to take birth in a pure family of devotees or in a rich family. In such families, a person can have a good opportunity to further progress in devotional service. Hare Krishna.
When Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, was instructing his assistant, he told him not to approach the devotees. The devotees should be offered respect, he said, but do not go near them. Thus, the devotees of the Lord are not under the jurisdiction of Yamaraj. Yamaraj is a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he controls the death of every living. Yet, he has nothing to do with the devotees. Simply by blinking his eyes, time personified can destroy the entire cosmic manifestation. But he has nothing to do with the devotee. And in other words, devotional service which is rendered by the devotee in his lifetime can never be destroyed by time. Such spiritual assets remain unchanged beyond beyond the time influence of time. Hare Krishna. So we'll stop it here. Okay. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time. Hare Krishna, Maithili Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Thank you, Pushkala. Thank you, Saraswati Mataji. Thank you, Sagar. Thank you, Jagannath. Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you so much for joining. Vancha Kalpataru Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitana Pavnebhyo Vishkamebhyo Namo Namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnavranda Ki Jai Namacha Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Meet again next week on Tuesday.